Hello, Bucks fans. Welcome back to Real Bucks Talk. Hope you guys are having a awesome Saturday, as it's been a great day of college football. And we got a big game tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks are looking to bounce back. The Bills, same thing. So it's a battle of 6-3 teams, and should be a lot of fun to definitely watch tomorrow and dive into, especially once the game film comes out. But just want to welcome you all of you guys in, and feel free to leave questions, comments, anything you guys have. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll get Mark in here as well. There we go. Representing Boston. I don't know if I like that shirt, but that's okay.
When you lose, you join them.
I guess so. But yeah, it's been a good Saturday so far. The game tomorrow is going to be lovely weather, 40 degrees. You got some wind factors as well, so we'll talk about that. But I wanted to go over some game tape here in a little bit, talk about Emeka, Egbuka. So we got a full show for you guys, and I hope you guys are joining us. Be sure to let me pull up this screen right here. Be sure to check out our Substack as well. We've got some new content over there. We talked about trade deadline. We talked about Cade Otton this past week against the Patriots. He did really well, and then also we put up the Bucs defense versus the big plays and the Patriots that they were able to get on us. So if you're not a member, be sure to subscribe and join us there. And we also have good stuff on YouTube as well, our membership channel. You can become part of the exclusive content, so be sure to check that out.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun over there. I mean, get involved, shoot your shit, right? Like, tell us what you think it is. We can look into it more. Because a lot of people have issues with certain things, whether it's play call, quarterback, coaching, all the above, O-line. What's the problem? And that's usually what we discuss. Like, you learn a lot more from the losses than you do the wins. And to me, that the loss is kind of showing a lot of evident things, but this is a good banter we can go back and forth with. So bring it. We love to hear it. Let's keep going.
Yeah, for sure. And let me go back over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of blurry. But just going over the injury report for tomorrow. The Buccaneers side, it's pretty easy. These are going to be your inactives for tomorrow, so there's no guessing there. So Ben Bredesen, he's going to be out. Chris Godwin Jr., Bucky Irving. They did practice this week, which is a good sign, Mark, but they are going to be out. And then also Hassan Reddick and Marquise Watts. So thoughts there as far as the injuries.
The Chris Godwin one still just annoys me. I mean, why even bring him back if he wasn't ready? That one is troubling. The Bucky Irving, clearly it's his shoulder. He's just got to get that. I mean, it's a subluxation, so he's just wanting to get it tested so it doesn't pop back out. So all the others are just let them gradually get there. I couldn't believe that Bredesen was actually out there for one time, right? I think he was out there, Tuesday, walking around, but it was based on his split that he performed in the game. Wasn't that far off from joining the team, but still, either way, like, you have your injuries, the guys that haven't been playing regardless. Is Michael Jordan going to be at left guard? Most likely, but I hope not. But other than that, it's kind of the same. So you have what you have. You know what they can do. Capitalize on that. It's not like there's not enough talent on this team.
Yeah, I think, and to your Michael Jordan point, I think they have to pretty much put out the same offensive line that they had last week out there. You got to start building some chemistry and try to build ways as far as getting this offense, finding consistency. I think that's going to be a big factor moving forward. It just seems like when you feel like you're going to get the offensive line back together, another injury happens. So that's tough to see. Frank G, he's not confident. That's great. That's awesome. And Bud Canalist talking about injuries for Buffalo, so we'll get into that. Dalton Kincaid is out. That's a huge one right there, like he mentioned. And then you also have Mathis, who's a defensive tackle for them. He's out. The key one to watch for this injury report is going to be Teron Johnson. He's their nickel corner. He was limited on Friday. So if he's out, that would be another big blow to their defense and also a matchup that you could exploit. But there's also news like they shaked up or they're changing their wide receiver room. And we'll talk about that, Mark, with Keon Coleman is likely going to be a healthy scratch. They signed McCole Hardman. They brought in Gabe Davis as well. So those are probably going to be two guys that you have to watch out for, along with Shakir, in addition to those guys.
I believe they have Curtis Samuel as well. So like, there's a lot of, I guess, mid-tier guys that haven't really been upper echelon receivers just yet. But
right,
I mean, but that's the thing. You have a great quarterback that can get it to their hands. I mean, usually they'd feed the tight end. Thankfully, Dalton Kincaid isn't going to play. So let's see how much of a problem our defense can be. I think that's going to be the biggest tall tale sign of this game. Like, does Todd Bowles rebound from the big plays that happen? Right? You would hope there'd be a lot of QB spy going on with this one because you got a running quarterback, a big guy that's hard to bring down. But with that said, if there's a QB linebacker spying, the running back in the flats is going to be kind of a liability, and that hurts for Servassier. So, I mean, he's improved on it, but still, it's an area of concern.
Yeah, for sure. I expect the defense, the big key is going to be James Cook in this one. He's going to be the main weapon that I think the Bills are going to utilize. They're going to try to run the football. I think both sides are going to run the football a lot, just because of the weather conditions. The wind is going to play a factor. Field goals are going to be at minimum in this game. There could be some, go for it on fourth down situations that you could see, just because of the wind gusts and all those things playing a part. But yeah, I think defensively it's going to be about, can you stop the run and can you contain Josh Allen from getting outside the pocket and making plays with his legs? That's going to be important. And just not allowing the big plays last week and get it, beat over the top or allow big runs. But let's let me bring up the depth chart so it can kind of show you guys of what changes they are making. So you see the depth chart there, James Cook and then Keon Coleman not going to be probably playing tomorrow. You got Gabe Davis and Mecole Hardman coming up. You to a Palmer, who's another one that can get down. So that's to watch. But yeah, Kincaid being out. They still have Dawson Knox, who's still, reliable. Jackson Halls is more of a blocking kind of O'Keefe type of tight end that can be, really a force in the run game.
Oh, did you freeze?
No, you're good. Go ahead. I was just leaving it for you.
No, realistically, their offense is Josh Allen. Josh Allen, forgive me, not just Josh Allen. Their running back,
James Cook.
So, like, genuinely, I feel like we could slow the run down. Last week was an anomaly. It was an outlier. We do not give up that many big gaping holes or that many big gainers for the running game. So I think there's going to be a point of emphasis from Todd Bowles to say, no, this was not us. This was uncharacteristic. Clearly, you guys were asleep at the wheel after the bye week. We need to wake up and get back to it because this is what our bread and butter is. I mean, if there's not Tyke Smith making a miraculous interception at the end of that game to give us an opportunity for the offense, I mean, it's probably a lot worse. So realistically, I think the defense run stopping will be at paramount. It's going to be, does Josh Allen beat you? But with that said, do you continue? Damn, that's a lot of injuries. I think almost every damn team. But
yeah,
realistically, I think the defense will keep you in the game. It's, can we win a game, or do you see the consistent fashion of what our offense is? Whether people give the excuse we don't have the weapons, we don't have the offensive line, pity this, pity that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's execution. Like, there's plays to be had. We've shown it over and over again. Execute the play. Whether it's Raker reading it incorrectly or correctly, And then if he does read it correctly, you guys got to catch the damn ball.
Yeah.
Like it's not one person to point the finger at right now. It's the whole team needs to execute better. And hopefully Baker's message went around the whole team, because I mean, there's plenty of games that we've been involved in and you're just not completing it. And that's what great teams do. That's what winning football teams do consistently. And that's just not been, even though we're 6-3, it's just, you want to be able to win the games that are winnable. And every damn game has been winnable.
Yeah.
It's frustratingly that the Bucs are the ones a lot of the times beating themselves. And that's the sad part.
Yeah, no, I agree. And looking at the defense for Buffalo, the two names to watch up front is definitely going to be Russo and Joey Bosa going up against, Tristan Wirfs and Luke Gedeke. They're going to have to hold the fort there, because our interior is going to have a tough time as well, because you're dealing with a very capable rookie and Deion Walker, who has been playing well for them. And he's a big force in the middle at 6'7", over 300 pounds. So our interior is definitely going to have to pick it up. Graham Barton's going to have to be consistent like he was last week. He had a very good game last week. Hopefully that carries over to tomorrow. But we got to find ways to really exploit them up front, especially their front, and then their linebackers have struggled against the run. And that's something that you want to see Sean Tucker being utilized and get him the football often, utilize play action off of that, and try to attack some matchups in the secondary, whether that's against Binford here, Christian Binford. Maxwell Harrison's been a guy that's been stepping up for them. He plays very good man coverage, and that's something that the Bucs have struggled with, and we'll get into that here in a bit. So you just got to find ways to be smart. Again, I think this is another game where you attack their linebackers with Cade Otton, and you run the football quite often. And don't try to force, things to Emeka Egbuka. I know you're trying to get him the football, but you got to do what works, and you got to attack the right matchup. And that's what we're going to get into here in a little bit. Mark, I'll get your thoughts on just the Buffalo defense as a whole.
So, I mean, Deion Walker, rookie. But if you think about it, all those guys are really tall, long levers. And this game, it's all low man wins. So if you're taller, Deion Walker is not a guy that plays with pad level low. You can get him off of his spot easily. Greg Russo is another 6'6" guy. Yeah, although I really like him, he's like a tweener. Very tall, lanky, but he can get moved off his spot. And then if those guys are moving off their spot and their linebackers are getting into holes, that's where you get the big gaping runs. And that's why a lot of people are like, oh, Bucky's coming back for this opportunity to run. Well, I think the top 5 running performances have all been against the Bills this year. So, a lot of hope and wishes, but hey, let them get healthy. I mean, we're looking for a longer haul, because realistically, at the end of this season is going to be what decides if we get in the damn division, I think, because the Panthers are right up our ass right now. And we get them almost back to back. We get them one game away, and then the last game of the season. So it's like, think about this long term, because if you put him in there now, and he gets re-hurt, okay, that's pretty much almost out for the season. So, overall, their defense, run the damn ball. I saw just Pat William right now. All we got to do is hand the ball off to Tucker, literally a guarantee. Plus is fumbling the ball right now. But
falling everywhere. Everything's fumbling.
But short answer that we're going to divulge into a lot longer in this podcast: get the damn ball out of Baker Mayfield's hand. I'm not saying that because Baker's bad. I'm saying it as in you got to help him out. As a play caller, call more runs. I don't give a crap. Play action will help Baker in the long term, but you got to be able to get an established run to help your quarterback and not have this high volume where it's all on him, because it is going to be his fault if you lose the game, if you put it all on him. It's 11 guys working as one. We always talk about that.
Right.
You can't solely put it on the quarterback to win a game. And he shouldn't be the reason you lose. The whole team has to be a quantitative reason why you win or lose a game. And at this point, there's just so much volume throwing onto him where we haven't been down that much.
Yeah.
If anything, 7 points, 10 points. Why are you still throwing such high volume? Keep running the ball. Like, control the field, control the clock, help your defense out. A lot of these times we're putting too much on Baker, and it's frustrating when you can just run the ball. You're running well against the best running defense. I want to see a lot more runs. Take it out of Baker's hands, not just because he's, like I was saying, he's not executing highly right now. Get him comfortable again. The play caller can get that momentum working, getting that confidence working by getting easier opportunities based off of run and play action fakes. So I hope to see more runs. Pat William, I agree with you.
Yep.
And
yeah, I mean, everyone's echoing it. We gotta run the football. I think that is definitely the key to tomorrow. Again, you don't want to,
and it's not just this game; it's every game.
Yeah.
Stop forcing it.
Yeah, definitely. You got to take what's there that the defense is giving you and make sure you're running play action, utilizing the pass off the run, same thing, pass and use the pass to open up the run lanes. All those things play a factor. But with that said, let's go ahead and I just want to dive into, we're going to get into Emeka Egbuka and just kind of his struggles, especially against man coverage, and talk about that as we look at it here going forward. But we're going to start, and these were good plays here to begin with, going up against zone coverage here. So as I draw this out, I really like the creativity of the Buccaneers here. You got Cade Otton here in the backfield alongside with Rachaad White. Basically, you're going to have Payne Durham come across here. He's going to block. You're going to have Cade Otton step up and block, and Rachaad is going to take on the blitzer. So you basically have a max protection here as your look. Tez Johnson is going to clear out space here. He's going to run basically a deep over. Emeka is going to come across and fill this void, and that's where the big play is going to happen. So as we run this, let me get it back here. If I can get that off. There we go.
Careful now.
Yep. So as you see there, see right there, they bring those guys over and they have max protection. So you have a window to throw to, and Emeka is going to basically go right into that void. And that's just good execution, understanding what the Patriots are giving you, and you're attacking, allowing your guy to get extra yards after the catch. That's a beauty of a play right there. And again, same thing. Now we reverse it, utilizing the play action, freezing the defense, and you're going to create an opportunity for Emeka Egbuka here in the slot. And basically what he's going to do is come up here, kind of fake like he's doing a block, and then do like a wheel route kind of delay. And he's going to be wide open because of the confusion up front that it causes. You see the play action. Again, Cade Otton comes across to pick up the my mic is messing up for me. But anyway, you see it here. And they basically run a, look at all the congestion right here, where they go like this, right? Basically running a scissor play there, and you have the space created because of that.
So, I mean, a lot of it is based off of what plus play action fakes. And this is all the first drive of the game. So there was a running game developed in there. This is all scripted, so everyone knows what they're doing. This is where, when it's not part of your script, you got to continue.
Yeah.
You saw what worked. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Some of these old adages and stuff, keep doing them. Continue.
Yeah. Like here, they, bring Cam Johnson in motion. And I love this play because you're basically creating a void because of what you're causing the defense to react to. You got Cam Johnson, who's going to come up the sideline here. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. Get it going. But the play action again, and you have time to throw. And really, Baker had plenty of options to go with this football. He could have went to Sterling Shepard here, but you have Emeka coming behind him, basically on a dig. And as you see it, let me clear that out. There you go. As you see it, like you look at Cam Johnson up top, he is taking the eyes of Christian Gonzalez, and you're basically creating a void because of that. So that's just well execution, good play design. Again, had options to potentially go here, but again, I understand the reason to go with the backside dig. and you still get a huge play out of it because of that. It's 31-yard gain because of play action, use of motion. That's just well executed play.
And if you think about it, the Patriots were number one against the run. So they make that a point of emphasis, right? That's why they're staying in a half second longer to make sure it's not a run. So when we're running these play action fakes in the first drive of the game or early in the game, they had to bite.
Yeah.
So you use that to your advantage. Now the Bills are a team that do not do well against the run, so that they're just trying to prevent the big play.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to get little chunk after little chunk. You got to play every team differently from what their strengths are. And then you attack their weaknesses based off of that. But I mean, a lot of these things, the Bucs they're so versatile in what they can do with offense. Like, don't tell me they don't have enough talent. They don't have the players. They have plenty of it. You have speed in Cam Johnson, Tez Johnson. You have to do everything in Egbuka. Yes, they're young, but they can still perform. They just need to execute. That's the difference.
Yeah, and again, just attacking zones. We're seeing how you can utilize Emeka, and they were trying to, move him around. And I think this is something maybe they could have done more, especially early in the game. Get him away from Christian Gonzalez and try to get him free. And this is what I talk about as far as knowing where the matchups are.
Yeah.
Again, the linebackers, that was an area to target. And that's where you're going to in space. You're creating your best player on that matchup to take advantage of. You're having Shepard, clear out space. You have Devin Culp out here. He's running a post. So there's just a lot of ways you can get this guy free. And I think that's what they figured out, but you got to do it more often. And again, that's creating a void there. You get a nice gain. So it's just stuff like that you can continue to do. Like even here, now he's lined up in off man going up against Christian Gonzalez and does a great job of setting this up, pushing him back. And that's a good route there. Good catch, inbounds. Like that's a really good play.
And it's simple. It's like, as the quarterback, though, a lot of it's his decision where he's going to throw it, right? So he's keying in a lot on Egbuka. If the opportunity is that far off, man, it's an easy decision.
Yeah.
But sometimes he's locking in when it's a really good coverage and he doesn't go on to the next read. And that is a decision on the quarterback. I mean, the play caller makes a play call for whoever's on the field. They have multiple different routes. The quarterback has to decide if it's going to go to option one, not just stay on them. And that's a lot of stuff you saw first year Baker and a lot from Jameis Winston. So this primarily is it right here. You're locking in. You're not seeing the next open guy. It's not just Emeka on this play.
Yeah. Yeah. So this play, again, this was discussed a lot on social media, especially on Twitter. And I had a, really detailed conversation with a couple on there, and some of it was good. I understand where they're coming from. And I get, Emeka is likely the first read here. Again, this is like 3rd and 5, I want to say. And you're trying to get Emeka coming across the middle here. You got Tez Johnson running a corner route. And I think Sterling's coming across here and kind of just doing a clear out. And granted, there's pressure up front, and you have Rashad coming out here. I think Kate Otten is doing like a stop route. But as we let it run, and you can see there's interior pressure. Your guards are getting blown up. Tristan Wirfs is basically sealing off his man. But you still have space right here, and you got space to operate. Yes, the QB spy, is there, and that is, I think, messing with Baker as well. We talked about this, Mark.
100%.
But you still have time to read this, understand who's covering Emeka. You have Christian Gonzalez here. Emeka's already been struggling to get separation. He's got to do a better job. It's clear that he needs to execute better against man. That's no argument there. But at the same time, you got to read the field and understand where you go. Now here, you can't go to these guys because you're already shifting to the left. Yep. So they're gone. They're X'd out. So I understand that from that standpoint. But you have a guy that was just beating, and I understand you can't I know some have said you can't make this throw like right here because Davis is, I know he's got inside leverage, but he's also playing this where he can flip his hips and play the outside. But still, this is what good players do. You throw these guys open, you throw to space, you allow Tez Johnson to make a catch, even throw it on this side where he can run and turn back towards the football. Give your guy a chance. It's much better than what we're going to see right here, where you're trying to layer it into Egbuka. He just can't make the catch, and it ends up being incomplete. Go ahead, Mark. Oh, did we lose you, Mark? I guess we lost Mark. Mark must be frozen. But we'll continue on. Yeah, I mean, it's just those are plays, and here's the reverse angle. You can kind of get a better idea of it. So, I mean, and I get it because.
There it is. Okay.
Oh, okay. Can I hear you? All right, you're good.
Yeah,
All right.
I guess I faded away.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you froze up, but like I was saying, like there's just opportunities to read and make adjustments here. But even here, I understand. Okay, you got a guy in your face. You're trying to trust your number one receiver, and he's already locked into this read. So there's really no way to adjust and look this way because he's already focused in on this play here. And I get it. He's trying to give his guy a chance, but I don't know. It didn't work, and guys just have to be better. Either this has to be a more accurate pass and allow Emeka to catch it and turn upfield, or you just got to find a way to get it. But even here, like when he slides left, like right here, I still think he can try to find a way to throw open Tez Johnson, like I was talking about, and it doesn't take place.
Now, I don't know how much you caught of what I said before.
I didn't hear anything, so my apologies.
No. So pretty much in this, go back on this, reverse on this, because this sells it the most. So, like you were saying,
hold on.
You sealed off one whole side of the field. So let it run.
Yeah.
Let it run right now. So you're looking. Oh, we got pressure up the middle. Like you said, the guards are blowing. Pause it. Right now, Baker himself deleted the whole entire right side of the field. Right? He himself knows that.
Yeah.
He's making a harder throw to get this, to force this to Egbuka around that middle linebacker, even though he's tightly covered in man, when he knows the only option he has to go to is Tez Johnson because he knows he's running the corner.
Yeah.
And then reverse it a little bit more. Reverse.
Okay. Reverse. Yeah.
And like you said, whoever the hell said that Carlton Davis can flip his hips immediately and catch up to a guy going full speed on a cut, I don't know what they're on. Seriously. Is that Tez Johnson's quick elite speed?
Yeah.
And playing inside leverage, there's no way he can catch up to him. And like you said, if anything, as a quarterback decision maker, you scramble out to that side knowing you only have one option in Tez Johnson because you yourself said, okay, the equation just changed. They took away one side of the field. I have to only look at this side.
Yeah.
In your head, you have to mathematically think that is my best chance. Not this bullshit trying to run around middle linebacker QB spy and force it to my number one receiver who's already blanketed elite. Yeah. Like that is the easiest understanding option to go to, and you didn't do it. Yeah. Baker. That is not on your offensive line. That is problem solving on the go. And that is all on Baker Mayfield. And I will say that.
Yeah. I mean, even here, it looks like he's looking straight ahead. I mean, you got Sterling Shepard who's separating. I would even throw it to him. But again, I understand.
Throw across body. You can't.
You're asking for do that. Yeah. Yeah. And like when he makes his gather, so when he makes the sidestep right here, right there, when you sidestep, you got plenty of time to make a decision and lead this ball out into space. Throw him open. That's what quarterbacks do. Drake May did it in this game. You got to be able to do that. And that's something that he's got to elevate. But at the same time, we've seen this before. And maybe this is just who Baker is. He's a good quarterback, but he doesn't have that ability to be great, at least consistently, because we've seen it where he can be great. but it just comes and goes too often. He's not able to elevate the guys around him. And that's something that, again, you can still win with a good quarterback, but with these injuries, not having Mike Evans, not having, other guys, that definitely plays a part. The offensive line being inconsistent with the protection, all that comes into play. And like, this was another one where, I was going in with it with social media, but you have Emeka here, and he's basically running what we call a whip route, where he's trying to force this defender and win leverage on the outside. And I understand that, like, he's the number one read on this play. And I get it, because you're trying to go to your number one receiver. You feel you have a good matchup, which I disagree with. I think you disagree with. The matchup all day was the tight end versus the linebacker. They were weak there. That's where you have to go with the football. And they adjusted to it too late, in my opinion. So again, Emeka, he's got to do a better job of winning against man coverage. And that's something that's got to take place as we let it run here. Yeah, you just got to be better. That's either got to be a better accurate pass. You got to find a way to create separation, and it's just not happening.
And I understand you pay the guys, you draft these guys high. Yeah. You're depending on them to win. Yes, but also as a play caller and as a coaching and as a scheme, you got to find ways to attack teams' weaknesses. This was issues with Leftwich back in the day. Yeah. But in this aspect, yes, Egbuka is the number one read, but they all do film study throughout the week. They all tell them this is where their areas are. It's up to Baker to read it and realize, yes, I understand. There's only one man on man everywhere on that side. The other side had the more defenders. But look how wide open everyone is on the other side of the field, and you didn't even look that way. Yep. It is frustrating when you're going best on best, but that's when you expect your guys to win. But you can't make it harder on yourself. You got Cade breaking open in the middle of the damn field. You got Rashad White wide open on the outside against a linebacker. It's like you hope on the sideline, that's when they were like, hey, Baker, stop forcing it. Start throwing to Cade, and that's when he got his 12 or whatever targets after that. But it's frustrating to see. It's like this is the film study part, where if you did this early, if you attack their weaknesses early, later on you can start hitting them anywhere, because then they're thinking, what the hell are they going to bring next? But it is the frustrating part of the game. It's like, is Baker just a good quarterback, not a great one? Because he's not been playing great at all recently. Is it on the play caller to make it easier on him? Let's get more runs going. Baker not audibling out of these runs, just run the damn ball. They're trying to help you. Like, some of it, we got to pull the reins back, or what are we doing here? Because it's hard to pigeonhole it on a one guy when there are open guys there. They're just not getting hit. But then again, you got to tell them, no, do not audible out of this. I want this run.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's a combination. And I was trying to explain this on Twitter. It's like, the quarterback, I understand you have your pre-snap reads. You're supposed to go to, A, B, and C in that order. But at the same time, does the quarterback not have the ability to just make a read pre-snap and understand, okay, this is going to be my target because he's got a more favorable matchup and I believe he's going to win, and I can shift my read to said person and get him the football. Now here, like, I understand this is just this offensive line, Dan Faney gets blown up here, and that disrupts the timing. That hurts the timing, because Baker's got to throw this ball earlier than expected. Emeka does get open. He's got space, but Baker, short arms this one and ends up being incomplete because he's got to throw it sooner, because Dan Feeney's getting run over. And I understand that defense line's right at your feet, so you really can't step into this throw. Short arms, it ends up being incomplete. I think this is a reverse angle. Like, stuff like that, we just can't have happen. And you can see how Baker's got to speed up his process there. Ends up being a short pass.
I mean, regardless though, Baker's made throws like this before. I mean, that's
Yeah,
why
he
I'm
has.
like, some of this has to be some sort of injury he's dealing with.
Yeah,
Because I mean, look at the rocking hit that Drake May took on their 72-yard touchdown.
yeah,
Like Braswell knocked the crap out of him, but it was a last second throw he got out, and it was perfectly delivered. You got to be able to step in there and take the hits. That's why I'm saying like you got to run the ball to save Baker's body first of all,
yeah,
and then second of all, it's going to open up things easier because people are thinking we're two dimensional. We're not. You don't know what it's going to be, and
yeah.
this is truly just on Emeka. You got to catch the damn ball.
Yeah, and this is where we go back to what we said at the beginning before all of this. It's like guys have to do their jobs. Like, you have to have 11 working as one, whether it's the offensive line blocking, Baker throwing accurate passes, being on time, timing, all of that, receivers running crisp routes and being at their spot. And then at the end of the day, you got to catch it. Like you can't have this, can't have it go through your hands. Like you got to make that play. That's something they gotta be better at. And yeah, I mean, but overall, I mean, the offense is, I think it's close. You just got to figure out what is the best process, and the OC and the quarterback have to be on the same page, understanding this is what's working. We got to utilize this more. We got to find ways to attack the best matchup against the defense and continue to do that. So, like you said, Mark, it opens up things for Emeka Egbuka, because I think a lot of people forget this guy's only a rookie, man. It's hard. This is not an easy game to play as a rookie, and it's tough. We're putting so much on this kid, and even Tej Johnson, again, same thing, 7th-round pick. Maybe it's time to start opening up things and go to Tej Johnson more, to open up Emeka. If Tej Johnson is beating the crap out of his guy, you got to find a way to get him the ball.
Yeah, that's something I talked to you about. It's like
Yeah,
you're seeing it on tape. It's not just last week. It's been since like Seattle. He's been playing fairly damn well and like getting open on routes. It's not just his gadget plays. It's his route tree that he runs. It's just so much separation. I know it's
yeah,
a lot of people said about Egbuka. He doesn't have a good separation score, right? But he makes plays.
yeah,
Tez probably has a fantastic separation score because of his shiftiness and his ability to make moves in space. And we're not targeting him much. I think if you're really truly only relying on K Dot and Egbuka, you're not looking at what your team can do. Yes, like all of them, it's a learning process. These guys are rookies, and you're having to trust them to make moves on the fly, right?
yeah,
They're learning and they're getting a lot of reps right now. I would assume Tez and Egbuka know a lot. Egbuka more than Tez, yes. But if you look at the tape, Tez is open a lot. He doesn't get targeted a lot.
yeah,
Unless we're down. And it's like, okay, well, he's the only guy that was open. He was open early too. You just didn't target him. And it's because you're running either your scripted plays or you're just locking in on one guy. It's frustrating. You hope time and time again, you see it on tape. You're like, okay, maybe we can rely on this guy more. Some of it's based off of him being a rookie, but also it's like the tape don't lie. If you're open that many damn times, get him the damn ball. And it's wild to say that 150 damn pound man is open that often, and if he gets hit, yeah, he could go out, but still, like if he's open, hit him, and that will open up so much more because he's not just a deep threat nowadays. He is open a lot,
yeah,
and they were just using him as that early on. Like, oh, just be the guy in motion that runs fast. He's developed so much since the beginning of the year, and it's cool to see from our standpoint. But like, you want to see it turn into something on the field. Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns, 4 catches, but it could have been so much more. And this is where it's like, okay, transition this into consistent play on the field, not just because you're. I don't know, and there's a lot of things that go into it. Like people say, oh, there's the offensive line and lack of playmakers, but that's why I say you have playmakers there. Just get them the ball. They read the field. Don't accelerate it. You were doing that well in the beginning of the season. Keep doing it. I mean, you can only beat yourself right now. That's why Bulls says, "Oh, we're focusing on ourselves." Yeah, because we're the ones making the mistakes right now.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the keys tomorrow. I think you're going to see an emphasis on the running game, utilizing. I want to see more play action. I think that's what has really shown success so far for the Buccaneers offense. Utilizing that play action under center, I think is a big deal, and identifying which matchups can you exploit, and trying not to. Oh, we need to get this guy the ball. Let's try to force him the football. Let's go and spread the football around. And I think that's where you see Baker at his best, where he's
Yeah.
utilizing his backs and letting them catch the football. He's utilizing the tight ends, utilizing other receivers, spreading the ball, and making sure the focus isn't just in one area. It makes the defense basically cover every blade of the grass. And I think that's what you want to see tomorrow. And it's going to be difficult because of, the weather. Buffalo is going to be ramped up. I think both teams are going to be ready to go for this game because the Bucs are pissed off. The Bills are embarrassed from last week, so they're going to be ready to go. Getting blown out by Miami. So it's going to be a tall order, but I think the Buccaneers definitely have what it takes to get a win, especially against a team I think they match up very well with. Now it's just about, can you execute and get it done before you head into a very tough matchup against the LA Rams on Sunday night.
Yeah, you hope it's like you've mentioned this before, like the Packers game with Dave Canales from 2 years ago, where
Yeah.
you finally click, and it's multiple different receivers. If you remember that game 2 years ago, David Moore had big catches, Rashad White had big catches, Chris Godwin had a big ass game, and we ran the ball. There were multiple ways we could attack, and they were a good team. They were just bad against the run, but then again, guess what? We could open it up so many other ways because we could run the ball. So you're hoping for that to happen. But there's a lot of frustrating parts where they're so close, they're just not hitting it. And it's not that guys aren't open, because in years past, guys were not open.
Yeah.
You just had guys running freaking 15 to 20 yards down the field, and it took so long for them to get open. There was no option.
Yeah.
There's plenty available. It's just you guys got to start calling it at the right times and then executing at the right times. And that's what I'm hoping for. Like you always say, like that Packers game moment where things just start clicking all around. Because I'm telling you, there's plenty of talent before these guys even come back. So it's not like you have limited at running back, limited at receiver, limited at tight end. You have everything.
Yeah.
If anything, the offensive line, but shit, you have the best tackle in the game. Gadeke's healthy now. Barton had his best game of the season last week. So you can make shift a lot. So let's get something going, especially against a team that's awful against the run.
Yeah, I think, again, utilizing ways to get Baker outside of the pocket, I think is also a necessary thing. Move the pocket, get him on the move, and try to get easy completions. We saw that last week, with Kadon, just running a simple bootleg, having him come across and connecting for a pass. Utilize that as your running game. You get 7 yards because of it. And then continue to utilize 21 personnel. We saw more of this last week. They even had 21 personnel out of empty, which I thought was pretty cool. And I want to see them try to use the backs in the passing game. That's got to be something that they have to bring back. I know they've done it before with the screens to Rashad, but I want to just see Rashad get the ball out in space when he's just running a simple flat route or something along those lines where he's coming across the middle. Got to find a way to get him the football, or even Sean Tucker as well. Get these guys the football and let them go make plays on a simple, 2-yard pass. Make it easier for Baker. That will give him confidence. That will give the offense confidence. And then you can open things up that way.
But that coincides with the timing of the play call.
Yes.
And then if you do see a guy that's doing a QB spy, which every team's been doing that since the Lions game. Yeah. Baker's got to recognize that, either give a pump fake to one side to manipulate that guy and just fire that damn thing out to the opposite area, or use that to your advantage again. If you see that guy staying there and that's on a running back, someone's going to have to move over somewhere and If you think it's going to happen, motion them over to somewhere else, and then you got a guy that's more space. You have more leverage because of space. So it's the game within the game. I know it's easy to say, harder to do, but that's why you get paid this much. And there's a difference between a good quarterback, great quarterback. Do I think there's better out there? Hell no. I think Baker is the best quarterback the Bucs have had in a while since Brady. But still, it's good quarterbacks don't grow on trees kind of thing. Once you get a good one, you want to keep them, and you just feed them around it. Yeah, at the end of the day, he's dealing with a lot. There is a lot of injuries, a lot of opening and closing doors. Guys are interchanging.
That was the wrong play. I was trying to get a different play. I think it's right here. I'm gonna pull up the real quick, and we'll end on this because I think we're pretty much wrapping up. But let me get, where is it here? I think it's this one. Is it this one? It's one of these. I gotta find it. But we talked about it with they were trying to run the pick play, and it didn't work because of execution.
Oh, this Tony Shepard.
Yeah.
Mesh.
Yeah. So let me see if I can find it here.
And that's why I'm saying, like,
guys,
people like Bud Campbell said, I've called
it's right here.
Grizz into question a couple times this season. Hope he schemes it up a good one. There are guys open. We showed it. Yeah. There's multiple guys open. It's the execution. It's not necessarily all on Baker, because like this clip you're going to show right here.
Yeah.
He's wide ass open.
Yeah, it's right here. Like, and again, this is what you were just talking about minutes ago. So understanding the QB spy. So you see the linebacker. Let me see if I can pause it. The linebacker right here. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but the linebacker in the middle there, he's eyeing Baker. And you got Rachaad White coming into the flat, like wide open.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So those are things like I want to see the Buccaneers start taking advantage of. And again, you're not always going to get this type of defense or this look. And again, Sterling Shepard's just got to sit down and not run into this guy, because you got still an opportunity for a big play to Cade Otton, and ends up canceling out. And you see the flags, both of them come flying in. Like, but yeah, you can't do that. You can't run into this guy.
That is a double negative. And it's not like in math, people. This isn't turned into a positive.
Yeah.
Right. So like this is the player on the field has to understand it. Because once they call in the play, it's not like he's in there saying, Rashad's open, throw it to him.
Yeah.
They have to understand that in the biggest situations, they're always going to do QB spy, because they know Baker can make plays with his feet. That's all he was doing in the beginning of the season. Now that's what defense are saying. Oh, hold up. We're not going to let Baker beat us with their feet. We're going to put a man QB spy. And when the Lions game, we're like, oh, not everyone's as athletic as Barnes is at middle linebacker that can spy him. It doesn't matter. That you use that. You're taking away one guy to isolate the quarterback. That means someone's not covering someone. So someone else is open. Use that to your advantage. And they're saying that you're going to beat me with the quarterback's feet. There's other feet that aren't being covered. Find that guy. Yeah. And this is the puzzle piece, the chess match that's going on. And as a quarterback, you need to understand that. If the guy's not covering you, who the hell's opening? If a guy's covering you as your running ability, someone else is open. The math equation. So yes, that's on Rachaad White. But Sterling Shepard, what are you doing?
What's funny is you see number 7 here for the Patriots. I think, that's Carlton Davis. So Carlton's running all the way from the other side of the field, because he's like, oh crap, no one got Rachaad White. And as we let it run, he's going to see it last minute. And he's like, oh crap, I got to get all the way over there. And he's like, thank God Baker threw it to Cade Otton, because he would still probably be chasing Rachaad White, because I think Rashad scores here.
Oh yeah.
But it's just crazy that they just couldn't execute. And this is simple things that have to be fixed, because you can't say the play design is bad. The play design was going to work.
Yeah.
But guys got to do their job and got to execute and allow this to be a big play, because this was a huge possession. I think this was maybe our second to last possession. We went for it on 4th down here.
Yeah.
And we were going to be inside the red zone. Where does he end up? Yeah, past the 20, down. Yeah, outside of the 10-yard line. So you got an opportunity to score here. 1st and 10 from the 12. You still have an opportunity to get a first down inside the 5. So that would have been huge. That would have been a huge play. And also it gives you points. If you don't get a touchdown, you get a field goal, but most likely you're probably going for a touchdown and you take the lead there. Just a huge play that didn't work out.
Yeah, and these are the fine little points where good and great teams are shown. Like, and it shouldn't come to just one play. It shouldn't.
No.
It's the consistent play throughout the game. And that's why like really good teams pummel bad teams, because they're just doing it over and over and over and over again, right? And the one little mistake turns into 3, 4, 5 mistakes, and those could be, like in the Bucs situation, 72-yard gains, 60-yard runs, right? Those little mistakes, because everyone on the offense did it right? And right now we're not doing it. Call it young guys, call it poor O-line or QB judgment, but everyone is at fault. And the QB took ownership of it, and he yelled at his whole team. He's like, we got to do better. And it's true. He said all the right things. Todd Bowles says all the right things. You just need to see it come to fruition on the field. You can't point the finger at one guy, really. Like, you just can't. Like, yes, I could point the finger a lot at Baker, but guys are dropping balls, right? Grizzard should run the ball more to get the ball out of Baker's hands, make it easier on him. Yes. So there's plenty of ways you can point the finger. It's not solely one person this time. And with Jameis 30 interception, that's pretty easy to point the damn finger. or Byron Leftwich forcing 30-yard bombs nonstop. Kind of dinosaur offense. We're kind of forcing the issue.
Yeah.
Right? So it's right now, it's just a lot of issues of lack of execution. And it's frustrating. It's like, you're a good team. Get yourself over the hurdle. You're your own worst enemy. It's been that way all 3 losses.
Yeah, and I think, and what's crazy is we're seeing it on both sides. Defensively, you could say, they played well last week, but the problem is they didn't, because you allowed 4 plays of 50 yards or more, 3 of them for touchdowns, and that was pretty much the game right there. You can't do that if you want to be considered a good defense or even a great defense. Yeah. So mistakes are happening. God damn it. Mistakes. This mic is killing me.
That was great.
Someone's going to screenshot that. It's going to be but this is Saturday. This is why you got to tune in, guys. You see all this crazy stuff. But what I was saying is, like, execution is not happening on either side of the football. In special teams, you got to give them credit. Even them, they're doing a better job. But it's got to be picked up. It's got to be better from just a focus standpoint. You can't have those silly mistakes happen.
Actually, you know what? It's actually a good point. Before we kind of sum up what this game against the Bucs is going to look like, Farouk Kawab said, if this team was healthy, are they undefeated? So I want to sum this up looking at it from two vantage points. So last year, we're unhealthy again last year. We lost a lot more games than we have, or are we in this middle stretch where Todd Bowles loses multiple games because it's all one of very good teams. Yeah. We lost a lot of games, very close games with Cohen, and he would just find different guys and we'd stay in every game, but we'd always lose them, right? Yeah. 49ers game, the Chiefs game. Last year, we lost those. Was it 3? How many games in a row did we lose last year?
I think it was 4. I think it was 4 last year. I'll pull up their schedule real quick. But
so it was the same thing. The health of the team forced us to go to different people. It was very inconsistent offense, but we could still move the ball. We just couldn't score the touchdowns. We kept kicking field goals because of health. And it's the same story this year, right? And the defense was awful last year. So if we were healthy, would we be undefeated? That is actually a good question. If you had every offensive weapon to your disposal. The 3 games you lost to were 3 good teams, and they were fairly close. Besides the Lions game, even though there's shit calls, fairly close.
Yep.
I mean, it is a reasonable question. I would say we'd probably have 1 loss. I think we'd have beaten the Patriots. We probably would have beaten the Eagles. But that Lions game, I think it was just awful all around. Probably would have done better if Gedeke was covering Aiden Hudson. We would have to max protect nonstop, but I think we'd have 1 loss at least. I wouldn't say defeated.
Yeah, so I'm looking at last year's schedule. So we had 4 losses in a row last year. So we lost against the Ravens, the Falcons, the Chiefs, and then the 49ers before we went into the bye and started winning games down the stretch. And again, same thing could happen this year. We just hope they can bounce. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, like, I'm hoping we can avoid those losing streaks. And that's something that we have done so far. We've rebounded from, the loss against Detroit. We rebounded from the loss against the Eagles really well, beating the Seahawks and the Niners. I thought that was a really good stretch, and got to find ways to get back to that offensively, especially the way they were executing offensively. You got to get back to that type of style. And I think limiting Baker's passing attempts, we talked about this, Mark, it's a huge key. Like, you got to keep him under 30 passing attempts. And you got to find a way to run the ball at least 35 times. I think you got to be somewhere in that range to help. But great question, Frukwab. I appreciate you. Appreciate all the support. Bud Cannibalist, yes, my mic, it just keeps falling down. I'm gonna have to figure something out. But yeah, I can't wait to see the screenshots of that as I go through it, and it'll be funny to see my face because that last one scared me. But yeah, I mean, difference in talent, O-line. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a significant drop. Not having Mike Evans is huge. Like, we know how big of a role he plays. Not having Chris Godwin, not having Cody Mock for the running game. All those play a factor. So that's a big issue. But at the same time, like Mark is saying, there's plenty of talent. They just got to do their job. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's not as hurtful that you're losing to good teams, almost great teams. You've only lost to the best 3 teams in the league, pretty much.
Yep.
Right. But it's also a measuring stick of like, okay, clearly you can get into the playoffs, but you ain't gonna get far because you can't beat good teams.
Yeah.
So you're just sitting middle. You're always sitting middle, right? And that usually, scarily, our ownership doesn't like mediocrity, and we'll just fire people based off of it. So it's almost a bad thing. But I mean, realistically, you could count on the O-line last year. You couldn't count on it at all this year. So it's like almost a different problem, even though it on top of what happened last year. So it's a bitch. But either way, you got to find ways to get, like you just said, get the ball out of Baker's hands. And that isn't necessarily because people are like, oh, if you're running the ball, that means you're winning the whole game. Not necessarily. You can control the clock, control the game by running. Cohen did it against the Chiefs in Kansas City last year. He would just keep running the ball, short, gimmicky plays, Sterling Shepard gadget plays.
Yeah.
And they just kept him in the game, They just couldn't finish at the end. They couldn't score in the red zone. They had to kick the field goal, give it to Mahomes, and look what happened. So you can stay in the game. And that's what I want to do. Like, just keep us in the game. If Baker needs to make a big play at the end, okay, good. But limit how many times he has to make that high caliber decision. It should be easier on him. You can't make it harder you have to make 40 high caliber decisions, right?
Yeah.
Like, take the load off of him. His body's already hurting. You're already banged up on receivers. Run the ball. Control clock. Control the bodies. Control what you can control. Don't just force Baker to make every read known to man, and then there's a QB spy, and he's going to get banged up because of that. Either way, yes, great quarterbacks would see that and make executions, but if you're dealing with injuries, it's harder. So you can't necessarily be like, Baker, you're playing like ass. I could say that, but in reality, there's a lot of equations that go into it. And he himself is pissed off his own play. And I can see how he will fix it because he is one that does not quit. He keeps going. And that's one thing that will never doubt him on. But the dude's a fighter. And I'm critical of every quarterback. Hell, I was critical of Brady. So because we know what standard they should have for themselves. And I think Baker has that. And this team has that.
Yep. No, I couldn't agree more. And I think with that said, we're going to wrap it up. But before I get us out of here, Mark, I want to ask what's the over under for Jameis Winston interceptions tomorrow? Because he is starting. He's playing against the Green Bay Packers. So what kind of roller coaster should we expect?
Hell, his first game, I remember the first game with the Browns he had. I think he had like 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. They won the game. I think he's going to do well. And then the second game is where you see the 3 interception game. I say 1. I say 1 this game. And then the next game, I'm going to say 2+.
Okay.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, I think he'll be exciting. He's always entertaining. I mean, he is definitely an entertaining quarterback. I think that's what makes him fun. But at the same time, there's a reason why he's been demoted to backup, because you just can't put him out there enough to trust him full time. And I think that's his issue. Jay Boo about to cut. Yeah, I love it. I want to get Jamil's question here. Is Baker hurt? Yeah, I mean, Baker's dealing with injuries. I think he's still dealing with the oblique. I think he still has a knee injury. That's probably why he's not running as he has in the past. Plus the quarterback spy. So I think that's something to look for. But Bud Cannibalist, thank you so much. Thanks for becoming a YouTube member. It's awesome. So really good. Yeah, really good stuff there. But he's going 30 for 30 in one game. that would be pretty that would be pretty awesome, I would say. Bud Campbell has him for 248, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably on par. He's going to throw over 250 yards, I think, for sure. He's going to air it out. Yeah, I just love it when he starts running. That's like the best part of his game.
Man, it's gonna be fun. There's gonna be highlights. Put it that way. There's gonna be low lights, but there's also gonna be a lot of highlights. But before we get out, I want to know. Prediction plus. I know there was a question all the way in the beginning of this podcast.
Oh yeah, predictions.
What is your predictions?
Yeah, I was on a live stream earlier today on the Buccaneers podcast. I said the Bucs were going to win this game 28-20. Yeah, I had them scoring points in this one. I think they bounce back offensively. I think they figure things out, and I think defensively they do just enough to not allow the big plays, and they play smart football. And I think they're going to get a huge win tomorrow and improve to 7-3.
I think that's what should happen. Plus, I don't think they win. I think a lot of what happens from the past is going to happen in this game. This is a good team. I think it'll be the opposite. It'll be 28-21. We lose. I think, frustratingly, I'll go lower. I'll do like 21-17, because I don't think we're going to score that many points. I think we'll keep us in the game, and we just won't be able to score. I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be low scoring, 21-17 is what's going to happen. We're going to lose. And that's not me being pessimistic. It's just me being real. Like, what can we hang our hat on right now?
Yeah.
That's because we came out of the bye. I was like, plus, we're going to win this game. I literally told you, we're going to win this game against Patriots. We're going to run it because we found the recipe against the Saints. We're going to keep running the ball. We're going to keep it out of Baker's hands. We're going to keep it safe. We're just going to win that way. Didn't happen. I think it's just so inconsistent, and it's up and down. I think we lose in a close one yet again, in a low-scoring 21-17, maybe even less. But I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong.
We'll see what happens. I just feel like the team really got chewed out this week. I just think they're going to come in focus. But again, does that play into execution? That remains to be seen. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
It's a cold game. We suck in cold.
Hey, I mean, I bring up that Green Bay game, and I was there. It was cold. We played well. That was the last cold weather game we were in, so I'm hoping that's what we see tomorrow. But again, we don't have Mike Evans, we don't have Chris Godwin like we had in that game. No healthy offensive line, so it's going to be a challenge, but should be entertaining. I'll say that at least, and we're going to be in the game. I don't expect a blowout, so that will be fun to see. But with that said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Thanks for joining us here on a Saturday. Be sure to hit that like button. Comment down below your thoughts of the game. If you want to leave predictions, we'd love to hear from you guys. And hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, because we have a lot of great content coming up. Be sure to check out our Substack. And with that said, everyone, have a great night. Go Bucs. And we'll see you guys probably Monday night to discuss the game for sure. So until then, we'll see you on the next one.
One outlier, 2+ interceptions, we win.
There you go.